Hey everyone, welcome back to the AMG channel. This is of course another StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we're going to be casting, of course, back with the Battle.net World Championship Finals. This is the third game between CreatorPrime and STPartinG. So far both the games have been very interesting, and I would highly recommend you guys watch the previous two games before you get into this third game. Anyways, let the matchup begin. This is of course Antigua Shipyard. On the top left we do have CreatorPrime as the red Protoss player, and on the bottom right we do have STPartinG as the blue Protoss. So it is a Protoss versus Protoss. It isn't really the best combination in terms of entertainment wise, as a Protoss versus Protoss does give it a little bit of limitations of what can exactly go on, but so far this is the finals of the Battle.net World Championships of 2012. So this is going to be some top-notch gameplay happening right in front of your screen. Now, let's speed up the game. So far, the production tab is pretty much equal on both the players. Nothing is going to be happening as the map is really big, so both the players are most probably going to be going for that secondary nexus before anything is going to be happening. So far, both players pretty much on par. We do have STPartinG going for that first Zealot a little bit earlier, while CreatorPrime did go for that Warp Gate and that Stalker instead, though, but he is not going to be having that Zealot. As you do see, he did go for that Stalker. And we do have STPartinG again trying that tactic that he did try in the first game, but it didn't turn out to be very effective. He's going to have that robotics facility tucked away nice on the top right corner. So this will prove to be very effective in terms of maybe he'll use it for producing those Colossus, as they can pretty much climb over these little hills and be able to go around, or he will be using it to build up those Immortals. Time will tell. No, it is going to be a War Prison, so he's going to be getting that War Prison as close as possible so he doesn't have to stream across the map. So he's going to be warping in. A very nice strategy by STPartinG. Didn't prove to work out on the first game when he did try that strategy out, and this pylon here is pretty much, I do believe, just to deter that CreatorPrime presumes that something is happening here, and of course to give him that advantageous of that the push is coming up. So finally the War Prison is coming down. He's going to be dropping those units, and of course he's going to be retreating as quickly as possible. War Prison deploys, and we are going to have more Warpins. They are going to be retreating, and more Warpins happening again by both players. STPartinG with two more Stalkers coming into play, and of course he did manage to load him up and move back. CreatorPrime should pretty much be able to push this out, especially with that Immortal in play. So this is going to drop. Pylon comes down, losing those resources unfortunately, but he does manage to save the War Prison for STPartinG. Is he going to be, will he cycle around and at least try to get a couple of pot shots off at those probes? Time will tell. We do have another Stalker here on the main ramp just to make sure. So in a way he does have CreatorPrime in a way circled and circumvented, and in that one base, and he pretty much has everything covered, all the angles, all the corners, and he is going for that harass. Of course CreatorPrime sees that, moving the Stalkers in, and that War Prison with very little damage just retreats, and that's pretty much it. What do we have here? He did cancel another building. I did manage to miss that out, but we do have Immortal production. No, he cancelled that as well. He did think of producing Immortals, but he did cancel that out as well. He is so far going for two pylons. Very quiet in terms of production tab for both the units. We do have CreatorPrime going for that Twilight Council, since they did use, both the players decided to go for that secondary nexus pretty much at the same time. So far so good. If we do look at the resources lost, STPartinG is with the 500. That's mainly due of course to his failure in terms of the pylon dropping, and this is going to be again a failure in terms of the War Prison. Stalkers are there, so they will pretty much keep an eye out for this War Prison, though STPartinG should pretty much drop this, as CreatorPrime already knows that there's a War Prison in place, so he's never going to leave this production line unguarded, though. I don't know why he doesn't change strategy. Maybe try to scout out the second base, though. He should use that War Prison, since he already did invest those resources into that actual War Prison. Maybe give it another go. Did he move it all the way up? No, he is still persisting on keeping it there. Robotics facility nicely tucked away by CreatorPrime. We will most probably see that Thermal Lance upgrade, as CreatorPrime does seem to like his Colossus, as we could tell from his previous game. So he will probably go for that Colossus heavy build, while STPartinG will probably go on for those gateway units. So blink research of course for both players. I do believe STPartinG has his blink finished, if I'm not mistaken. No way, let's just take a look. No, he doesn't. He doesn't even have the Templar Archive, so no blink for STPartinG. He is just going to be going off 4 gateways and that second base though, so nothing really fancy for STPartinG. He is really much reliant on his warp gateways, and that's about it. No upgrades for STPartinG, while CreatorPrime is having a little bit of nicer cocktail in the mix for his game. We do have, of course, that Twilight Council with that Blink research complete, and finally that first Immortal does manage to plop out from the robotics facility. Unfortunately, he has to, of course, route it all the way back down though, so the question is, will he manage to scout out the Twilight Council? And if he does, that's another blow for STPartinG's resources, as he will manage to take out another building with really no counter-offensive by STPartinG, as he did manage to lose, I do believe, one pylon here, which he cancelled twice, and this third time he did lose that pylon. So Zealot, of course, is scouting out any hidden possibilities. I think he just came from the bottom left side. So is he going for the top right now? Yes, he is going for the top right. He does presume that something is happening there, so he is going to be scouting out with that Zealot, and he will probably spot that out. Unfortunately, STPartinG not looking very nice, and that Thermal Lance upgrade is on its way as predicted. So far, very quiet from both the players. Everybody is droning up, and that Zealot is going to be moving forward. I don't know why he didn't leave at least 1 or 2 units to prevent that scout out from this robotics facility, because this is going to be, of course, the prime target for STPartinG. Did he actually miss that? No, I know he did scout that out. We do have STPartinG. He did scout that out. Of course, the attack is happening to the pylon to power down those buildings, so he is going for both the pylons. And if this pylon drops, this robotics facility is dead. Of course, he did cancel that production of the Colossus, and that's pretty much it. More units streaming across the map just to make sure that this is going offline. Did he actually start production of another one down here? Yeah, he did. He knows it's a loss. Again, more resources lost by STPartinG, just with a little bit of a miss strategy there. Not looking very good for STPartinG so far in terms of how the current gameplay is. We do have no stalkers here, only 2 a little bit further away, so he might be able to get off a couple of pot shots if he does circle around, but that's pretty much it. Thermal Lance upgrade is complete for CreatorPrime, and actually, yeah, it is nearly complete for CreatorPrime, while STPartinG is just about to start with that. A little blink happened there, maybe to see if he can catch up with that probe, and that probe is going to drop. So again, really CreatorPrime very, very good in terms of micro and macro, doing a very good job in terms of keeping his base up and upgraded, and doing everything he can to keep it going. A lot of pylons being dropped down. He does want to get supply block, keeping that production type going. Again, Colossus in play. We do have double robotics facilities, and very heavy gateway push by STPartinG with actually not really that many gateway units. He has 3 Immortals with that 1 Colossus, but there's no real match for CreatorPrime. If he does back up with those Colossus, CreatorPrime does have an upper hand. The 1 upgrades for CreatorPrime is nearly complete. Zealot charge as well, so that's going to prove very effective, as he does have a couple of Zealots in the mix, hiding behind the Colossus legs, so that's pretty funny and cute at the same time. Third Nexus is up and running, and here comes that so-called push. Of course, the Observer by STPartinG will pretty much show what is happening down here. No observers though for Creator. No, we do have 1 observer for CreatorPrime. I was a little bit confused why the observer wasn't there. He again moved back with this War Prison, not proving very effective at all. He just decided to drop down 3 Zealots and move the Blink Stalkers away, and actually keep him a little bit tucked away here. He's not even going to be bothered to move him down though. Third base is up, and finally STPartinG going for that 3rd Nexus. Nothing so far happening. Let's just speed it up just a little bit, as it is so far a little bit of a stalemate. No real pushes happening though. The 3rd Nexus is going to be complete, and STPartinG, of course, taking the center map stage with that Zolnaga Tower, so he's going to be having a little bit of scouting advantage there. And the War Prison again trying its luck, and not very successful, as the Stalkers now, 2 Stalkers being moved to replace those Zealots, as we do have only 2 Zealots in turn. So one of the Zealots did drop, and the second one is nearly dead, though here comes another War Prison attempt, but he did spot that, of course, Stalker, so that pretty much halts this War Prison attack. I don't know why he doesn't circle around and try different bases, but I do believe STPartinG has so many other things going through his head, he can't really think that way. I do believe more gateways are in play. Yes, we have more gateways in play. So this is it for CreatorPrime. CreatorPrime pretty much setting the pace here. He did decide he's going to be going all in, so this is it. He's going to be pushing out pretty much the moment these gateways complete, if not before. He's going to be moving into position, and STPartinG not really up to par with CreatorPrime. There is a substantial gap between these 2 players. This is pretty much gonna drop very quickly though, even though this is a hefty, what is it, 6 Colossus build, but that's about it. This is of course going to be cancelled, and he is going to be moving down. We do have, what do we have? We do have a hell of a lot more We do have 8, including more Stalkers, more Sentries. Just the mixture of CreatorPrime's Protoss Ball is substantially better, and with those Archons just to top it off, that cherry on top will call this the end for STPartinG. This is just a matter of time. Upgrade's just about to be completed for STPartinG. That's exactly what he needs, but that's about it. He does have the level 2 upgrades. So will that be completed on time? That's the question though. Finally, so he is pretty much equal, and he knows that that push is coming, so will he be moving up to the base or not? This is the question. He's going to be trying to drop this and get cancelled, but finally here comes the push. The question is, will those force fields be effective? Will everything be effective to play? Guardian Shields coming up on both players. Zealots being charged up and pushed forward. We do have more warpins by STPartinG to try to prevent this push from happening, and a little bit of kiting by CreatorPrime to try to prevent that damage from happening. Of course, Archons did drop very quickly, and STPartinG actually might turn to win this, though. We do have more Zealots from the back and taking out those Colossus, and that's pretty much it. A very surprising turn of events here, as actually STPartinG did manage to hold his ground. I presumed that he would drop, but he did manage to hold his ground very, very effectively. That warp gateway harass did, of course, also slip in. I'm sorry, guys, I managed to miss that again, but it is very effective. He did take a lot of these probes out, and he is going to be taking out that last probe. No, he just did manage to drop, but very heavy damage in terms of the economy. Fourth Nexus coming up for STPartinG, so really the tide does turn again towards STPartinG as his 4th base is up. 2 more Archons, so we do have a little bit of retaliatory giving the favor back with those Archons being thrown into the mix as well. So Archons are going to be moving forward. A lot of Colossus, though. I don't see a lot of Gateway units mixed here. We do have just a few Zealots. Of course, Pylons are trying to be dropped everywhere as much as possible, though, but so far it is proving to be a very interesting matchup between both these players, though. 4th Nexus for STPartinG. It seems that STPartinG did manage to get the upper hand there in terms of his composition and in terms of his strategy, and finally that push is coming. Of course, CreatorPrime sees that due to his advantage on the higher ground, but doesn't really take that advantage there, though, especially with the amount of Colossus here. This should pretty much drop very, very quickly, though, for CreatorPrime. CreatorPrime will get mopped up very, very quickly. Very heavy Colossus build by STPartinG. Of course, with those 2 upgrades, even though both players have those 2 upgrades, but the sheer amount of Colossus here will pretty much shred anything to bits, and everything will drop, though. 1 final Colossus left, and the Zealots, I don't even think we'll even be able to reach yet. They did manage to reach and drop one of those Colossus, but there's just too many. There's just too many in the mix. We do have around 7 Colossus in the mix, and that's pretty much it. CreatorPrime calling it a GG, and this is it for the 3rd game out of a 6 game. I did mention I think it was a 5, but it is a 6 game final between these 2 players. As always, happy gaming. See you guys in the 2nd or 4th game, actually. Bye.